Hello. My neighbor's oleander is blooming, which is looking really nice over the fence. I'm a little tired today. It's late in the day and it's supposed to rain for the next few days, so I figured I would show you what I've been up to. The crepe myrtles that I pollarded, I had to thin the sprouts to 2 or 3 per stem so they look a little better. And this one as well. It thins them out. By the end of the season, those branches will be up probably about 5 or 6 feet. So I just wanted to give you a status. Got a mourning dove out in the distance. A lot of birds here this afternoon. My roses are pretty much in full bloom now. They're Oklahoma. They're looking nice. They don't last well, as I've said outside. This Oklahoma rose opened this morning and you can see it looks a little ratty already. Had I picked it and brought it in the house, it would stay nice before the heat hits it for about 3 or 4 days, and it has a really, really strong fragrance. This one I may go ahead and cut and bring in. So they're doing well. My geraniums, or really pelargoniums, are blooming nicely. Banana trees are growing. I've been watching wasps. I couldn't get my camera out fast enough. Wasps have been coming and drinking from this water bath all afternoon. My vines are definitely in full bloom. That one I just planted this year. White jasmine. You can see there's some activity in the cycads. We limbed up the palms one more time. Took a lot of the dead and yellowed out of the Canary Island date palm. It looks better. I had to water everything because it's been really, really dry. What I did want to show you is the hydrangeas are really leafing out. There's one. These are the Nico Blue. There's some birds up in the palm trees here. There's a bird feeder on the other side of the fence as well as a bird bath, so they like to go there. They tolerate me. They make a lot of noise when a cat is present. There's the other hydrangea. And I cut back the Nandinas today. There were tall Nandinas there. These birds have been, I guess it's a house wren. They really like the fruits on my trees, and it looks like they may possibly have a nest up in that palm tree, because I see them flying into the base of that. I limbed up this today. That's the Sonoran repons. I got tired of being smacked in the face every time I walked around it. My knockout roses are in pretty full bloom. Very fragrant, lemony scent. I've got some more amaryllis fixing to bloom. You can see they're small buds right now. And in the back, I've got little banana trees coming behind the statue. There's another yellow knockout rose, very fragrant. And the main thing I worked on is, look at this cycad. It has really put out since the last time I showed it last week. And before it gets much bigger, I wanted to get all around it and clean the bushes out on all sides of it, because when that opens up, I did find out that, like the oleander, cycads are very poisonous. And actually the thorns, if you look very closely, they have thorns at the base, and they exude a poison. It won't kill you, but what it does is it makes, if it punctures your skin will swell up and it'll sort of feel like a little bee sting. Here are some more. I'll back up so you can see my Jasmine Topiaries. Those have been in those pots for about 3 years now. There is a frame, a metal frame underneath them. And as soon as they're done blooming, I will go ahead and cut them back to the frame and let them bush out again. I usually have to cut them about 2 or 3 times a year. But at this time of the year, I let them bloom. And this is about the distance I like to be, because that chair, if you sit in that bench, for about 3 minutes, the smell is very pleasant. And after about 5, it kind of feels like somebody hit you in the sinuses with a shovel. At least that's the way the pollen gets to me. I did cut back all of the Nandinas that were around in the back here. So now you can see, although it's pretty much almost blooming, over blooming, in the far corner is a snowball viburnum. But it's grown about a foot since last year, so it should do pretty well. And the Nandinas I really cut back. What I like to do is I like to you can't kill a Nandina. These want to be about 6 to 8 foot tall, and I could cut them all the way to the ground. But I like to get them, usually what I do when I cut them is I cut them about a foot shorter than I want them to be. So in other words, I want them to be about a foot taller than that, so that gives them some room to grow up. And gradually that viburnum will get taller and taller. If it grew about a foot last year, it should grow another foot this year. Oh, I have to get out of here. The smell of the jasmine is getting to me. Blueberries, they're starting to turn blue. Well, maybe it's wishful thinking. They're starting to turn grayish blue. I had to really soak everything today because it was rather dry, and it's been in the 80s. It was like 85 today. So we did also limb up these loquat trees. I raised the canopy so that way I can see through and air flows a little better. You have to kind of keep air flowing under here, otherwise you'll get scale and other problems with your tropicals. In fact, I noticed on these cycads, I'm going to have to get some horticultural oil because the birds are just going crazy over here. In any event, there are little white spots. Not that big white spot, that's bird poop. But these little white spots are something that oil will take care of. Insecticidal oil. I believe they're called scale. The Nandina is probably responsible for that. I cut that Nandina about by half, and the scale may possibly go away if I just let it sit like it is now that it's more exposed to the air, but a little insecticidal oil won't hurt it. This is going to be my next project. You can see the orchids are still doing okay, but underneath this palm I need to cut out these ferns. They're just a little too tall, and these ferns that I cut back a couple of weeks ago are starting to put out new. So that concludes my talk for the day. Oh, I had one other thing I want to show you. Ligularias. That ligularia lost a few leaves, but it's doing okay. Something ate it. I have noticed I've got problems with slugs. Maybe these birds will help me with that. The bougainvillea still blooming nicely. Unfortunately, I noticed in here my primulas. This one was the one that was doing really, really well. And I noticed that apparently slugs got to it a couple of days ago. It still got quite a lot of bushiness to it, but I went ahead and put slug bait out there to deter them from eating further. And there's my fortnight lily blooming. And that's about it for the day. There's the bird again. It likes this backyard. Obviously no cats are here. Okay, have a good day. Bye-bye.